This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need, have coverage options to protect the things you value most, file a claim right on the State Farm mobile app, and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You know that feeling when someone shows up for you just when you need it most? That's what Uber is all about. Not just a ride or dinner at your door. It's how Uber helps you show up for the moments that matter. Because showing up can turn a tough day around or make a good one even better. Whatever it is, big or small, Uber is on the way. So you can be on yours. Uber, on our way.
This is Optimal Finance Daily. How does mental health affect your financial health? By Lyle Soloman of Fiology.com. In the past few years, there's been increased awareness about mental health issues. This has led to more and more people realizing they may have underlying and unresolved problems that they need to address in order to lead better lives. Most of the time, mental health can also have a serious impact on one's financial health, and it can cause them to make poor decisions. How does mental health affect your financial health? You might not know it, but there's a significant relationship between your mental and financial health. Both of them can have an adverse impact on the other. By improving one's mental health, you can also greatly improve your financial health. 6 ways poor mental health can affect your financial health. Your psychological well-being is like a scale. On one side, you have mental health, whereas on the other side, there's mental illness. The scale tips from one end to another, or somewhere in the middle, due to several circumstances in your life. Moreover, much depends on your physical health, quality of sleep, nutrition, activity level, stress, and other factors. If the scale tips towards the mental illness side for too long, you're at risk of developing financial problems as well. Let's have a look at 6 specific ways poor mental health can be the cause of your poor financial health. Number 1, you start losing control. When you're dealing with disturbed mental health, it feels that life is spiraling out of control, and you can't do anything to get it back on track. During this time, you aren't sure about the future as well, and you stop paying attention to how you're spending your money. Therefore, you start spending mindlessly, and at such a time, saving money is the least of your worries. Number 2, you start avoiding problems. Another thing people with poor mental health often do, they start putting off important tasks and things that need their immediate attention. Crucial daily tasks like paying the bills, managing mortgage payments, and paying your credit card bill can also be difficult for you. As a result, you're bound to get extra charges, and interest on your bill payments and your credit card debt may also start rising. When you finally get your bearings, you might turn to desperate measures like credit card consolidation and asking for extensions on your installment payments. Number 3, you start spending for temporary relief. When you're mentally stressed, you tend to look for temporary relief in other things, even if they're harmful for you in the long run. One such thing is retail therapy, which causes people to spend money on buying unnecessary products and clothes. As a result, they're drained of their finances, and this adds to their stress and financial woes. Number 4, you experience low self-esteem. Mental illness also brings with it decreased self-esteem, which causes you to feel worthless or bad about yourself. The lower your self-esteem goes, the more you try to fill the void and overcompensate by buying expensive gadgets, clothing, accessories, and much more. However, this doesn't help you at all. Rather, it causes your financial health to worsen. Number 5, you have lower energy. Another side effect of having poor mental health is that you start sleeping less, or the quality of sleep decreases significantly. As a result, you start feeling fatigued and exhausted all the time, mainly due to lack of energy. Due to this, you have lower energy throughout the day, and this takes your focus off paying your bills or paying off any outstanding debt. Plus, the debt starts to grow and it becomes even more difficult for you to manage your finances. And number 6, you recall similar instances. If you have faced mental health problems earlier in your life, your current state will cause you to reminisce about all of them. When you start thinking about the times in your life when you were at your lowest, you start feeling worse than before. Most people try to cover up the wounds from their past by spending more on the future. For instance, if you were neglected as a child or bullied because of your looks, you might dish out a lot of money on expensive clothes, makeup, treatments, and much more. If you don't have the money for all these things, you might even go to the extent of maxing out your credit cards or taking out a loan just to pay for everything, and this can haunt you in the future. 5 mental steps to improve financial wellness. While poor mental health can lead to financial stress, there are some steps you can take to refocus your financial mindset by practicing mindfulness. Here's a look at 5 mental steps that you can take to put your financial life on the right track. Number 1, make an honest assessment of your financial situation. Many people who have financial problems will resist looking at how much they owe. However, if you want to get yourself on the right track, then you have to make an honest assessment of your situation. Spend an afternoon sitting down and assessing all of your bills. Number 2, create a budget. Creating a budget is much like creating a diet and exercise regimen to get yourself in shape. You can use free apps such as Mint, Pocket Guard, and Personal Capital to help you create a budget. This will help you avoid spending more than you make each month. It can also help you create a plan to pay off your debt. Number 3, resist emotional spending. Many people end up breaking their budget due to impulse spending. Therefore, you should put a 24-hour moratorium on any unplanned spending. Ask yourself if you really need this product or service, and will it adversely affect your budget? Number 4, avoid comparing yourself financially to others. Numerous studies have shown that social media exposure has a net negative effect on mental health. When we see someone on vacation or living their best life, we can become tempted to spend money to emulate that lifestyle. Don't try to live your life to someone else's standards. This can hurt your mental health no matter how much money you make. And number 5, set financial goals. Instead of focusing on any money problems, focus on solutions instead. For instance, start planning for retirement, the purchase of a home, or perhaps a new stream of investment income. This type of focus will allow you to make better financial decisions and put your mental health in a state of control rather than helplessness. Good mental health is good financial health. As you can see, keeping your mental health in check isn't important just for your well-being, but it also has a major impact on your financial health. Mental health problems and illnesses also impair your ability to save money or to perform financial planning. Therefore, it's very important for you to seek help if you aren't in the right headspace, and also try to take care of yourself with proper sleep, exercise, nutrition, and also engaging in social activities. You just listened to the post titled, "How Does Mental Health Affect Your Financial Health?" by Lyle Soloman of Fiology.com. The origins of this podcast were once just a dream. That dream turned into the podcast and business you're listening to today. Starting your own business is a dream lots of us share, but too many of us let it remain just a dream. Don't hold yourself back thinking, what if I don't have the skills? What if I can't do it alone? Turn those what ifs into why nots with Shopify by your side. Shopify powers millions of businesses worldwide and handles 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel to brands just getting started. Build campaigns that reach customers wherever they're scrolling. Plus, Shopify's expertise covers everything: inventory, shipping, returns, and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/OFD. Go to shopify.com/OFD. Shopify.com/OFD.
You may get a little excited when you shop at Burlington.
What a low price! You see that? They have my favorite brand! It's like a whole new Burlington! I can buy two!
I'm saving so much!
Burlington saves you up to 60% off other retailers' prices every day. Will it be the low prices or the great brands? Burlington. Deals? Brands? Wow! I told you so. Styles and selections vary by store.
This article hit home for me because I know all too well the challenges of navigating finances when my mental health isn't good. In a depressive state, I'm pretty desperate to self-soothe, and I have trouble finding the energy for many of my money-saving habits. I notice that I'll order takeout more because I can't find the energy to cook. I spend more money on convenience, and I waste my dollars on things like alcohol and junk food, which tend to just exacerbate the problem. I've found that the biggest factor in improving my finances is simply paying attention, but I definitely struggle to find the energy to pay attention when I'm not in a healthy place mentally. Mental health is a tricky issue. There is no one solution that's going to work for all of us. And while I think Lyle's suggestions on how to navigate this might work for some, all I could think while reading this was that I would never be able to find the energy to evaluate my finances, budget, or create financial goals while I'm depressed. My depressive cycles are marked by a complete lack of perspective, as well as feelings of scarcity, which isn't really the best time to dig into my numbers. If you're like me, you've probably been battling your mental health for a long time, and it's likely you've noticed patterns. I hazard to guess that there are times when it's pretty bad and other times when it's relatively good. So here's what I do. During the good times, I prep for the bad times. I set up my bills and investments on autopay so I don't have to worry about overlooking something. I do my in-depth analysis of my spending and work on my budget while I'm clear-headed. I get my savings rate up as high as possible because I know it's going to drop when I'm in a depressive state. And I spend money on preventative measures like therapy, massage, and educating myself on the various tools and approaches to improving my mental health. I've come to realize that dips in my mental health are inevitable, but I've found comfort in knowing that I've set up my finances so that I can more easily navigate them. That should do it for another edition of Optimal Finance Daily. I'll be back tomorrow as usual, so I'll see you there on the Wednesday show where your optimal life awaits.